Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today, we've got another Gun Gripe episode for you. This one is really important, guys. I need y'all to share this with folks. I need to get the word out. I need your help more than ever. We have to make sure that we win Georgia when it comes to this Senate runoff that's coming up. Extremely important. I know a lot of people are looking at the presidential race, and yes, that is very important, and the whole country's got their eyes on that. But don't get distracted, y'all. We have got to get Georgia out and vote to make sure that we win these Senate seats in Georgia. These two seats are extremely important. They could tip the balance of power in this country in an extremely negative way if they go the wrong way. And we could lose a lot of rights, and we could definitely have the Supreme Court packed as a result. Mm-hmm. So there are many, many things at stake. Not only the Supreme Court, but the Senate majority as a whole. And that's extremely important for gun rights, okay? Now, we've made some pretty good, Pelosi, of course, is extremely livid about what's happened with the House seats. But
they didn't have their blue wave.
It's still not enough, though, for us to have complete control of the ship in terms of the House. But at least we're a lot closer in that regard. And just the fact that it made her blood pressure go up makes me pretty happy to think about. But the battle is not over, guys. All right, I believe it's early January 5th or 8th.
January 5th.
January 5th is when the runoff is. Guys, get the word out. Do not sit this one out. Even if you're not from Georgia and you want to come to Georgia and help me go knock on doors, we're going to have rallies coming up in all kinds of cities here in Georgia. And we're going to be getting out and doing some really great work along with many of our friends in the social media world. So we hope that you'll support us in that. We definitely want to support Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue. So those are the candidates that we want to see make it to the Senate. And I believe David Perdue is up for re-election, right?
Perdue, yes.
Yeah, Purdue's up for re-election, and Kelly Loeffler is the candidate that we have in place to replace Johnny Isakson. Mm-hmm. Okay, so which is who retired.
So that's a Georgia special election. But
right.
So if you guys don't know, runoffs occur when in the Senate when no particular candidate gets above 50% of the vote. All right, so Loeffler and Doug Collins were running for the same seat. They were both conservatives running against Raphael Warnock. No candidate got over 50% of the vote, so it was split. So now Warnock and Loeffler go into runoff on January the 5th, and then Perdue did not get 50% of the vote against Ossoff. Okay, so there's a history in Georgia. I was trying to look it up, but I want to give you some dates real quick, just so y'all know. Let's see, voter registration deadline in Georgia is December 7th, the first day of early voting, which is usually what I do. I usually go and early vote. It's December 14th, and then the actual runoff election day is January 5th. That's usually kind of how things work. But runoffs are interesting because there's never as much voter turnout for runoff elections, and that's been across the board. I mean, you can look back all throughout history. There's really never been as much turnout for runoffs as a general election day, and especially a presidential election year. But we've had a history in Georgia of electing conservatives in runoffs. The most recent in memory being Brad Raffensperger, our Secretary of State. He didn't win the general election by very much, but then he won the runoff by like 14 points. So it's a little bit up in the air now because Georgia is really turning into that kind of battleground status, okay? Just like Ohio used to be and many other states have been blue. They've been red for a while. They turned purple. I mean, look at Colorado. It's kind of a solid purple now. You really never know which way it's going to go, but it's always, in recent years, been more left-leaning. Georgia is growing like crazy. I mean, our county that my family and I live in, we were one of the top 10 fastest growing counties in the nation in the early 2000s, on up to about 2010, which is crazy. I mean, we added 150,000 residents within that time period, roughly. And that's a lot of people, and my county turned blue. Okay, I mean, 2016, my county went for Hillary Clinton. 2020, my county went for Biden. And it's just it's an interesting demographic shift in Georgia, but the majority of the state is still very conservative, very red, and very pro-freedom, pro-gun. But these runoffs are, like Eric said, they're very important for gun rights as a whole. If you're a single-issue voter and you're going out for the gun vote, you only have one clear choice. I mean,
there's a couple of interesting things that I want to mention in this particular video also. There's been some rhinos amongst our midst, and dare I say that Governor Kemp has proven to be a rhino because he signed a consent decree recently blocking officials from inspecting the ballots for signatures on the recount that's happening in Georgia as we speak. Now, at the time this video drops, the recount might have already been, finished up and tallied, but as it stands right now, they're not allowing officials to inspect the ballots for appropriate signatures and things like that. And that was something that was pushed by Stacey Abrams. So Stacey Abrams was able to push, Governor Kemp to do that. But Brad Raffensperger is the guy that you need to call about that because he's the one that orchestrated and is the architect of all that. So maybe give him his office a call. He is an elected representative. And maybe ask him, you know what I mean, like, what in the world is going on, why that's happening, and why Governor Kemp was on Stacey Abrams' side in that regard. So he's kind of showing his rhino colors in that regard. I would contact Governor Kemp's office and definitely inquire. Brad Raffensperger's number is 770-845-3205. He is an elected representative. That's not like doxing or anything. He works for us.
He's the Secretary of State.
Yeah, he's Secretary of State. So definitely contact your representatives in your local area, whatever your district is. We have to bark up the tree as much as possible. We have got to get Georgia involved. This is totally a grassroots thing. This Senate race is going to be one of the most expensive Senate runoffs probably in recent memory. It's going to cost millions and millions and millions of dollars. There are so many things that are at stake with this, okay? We're talking about, all right, if Biden and Harris are actually, win, like they say that they could, and let's say we lose these Senate seats, and let's say that with a majority in the Senate that they're able to pack the courts and get, all the people they want and pack the Supreme Court is what I'm trying to say. All right, Biden and Harris want to actually do away with online gun sales, online ammunition sales, accessories, which is going to completely cripple the gun industry. Okay, so the gun industry needs to get behind this Georgia Senate race. It's extremely important. And really good patriots like Pete Brownell and folks like that have stepped up and offered to help in any way that they can, and I've got a lot of respect for them. Now, obviously, I know they have a lot at stake because internet sales are a huge component of how those businesses thrive and do well. The internet is, in our modern age, sort of a meeting place, a town hall, right? The internet is where we share ideas. It's where we purchase things, right? You look at the billions of dollars in revenue that Amazon is making during this whole pandemic, okay? And they're making money hand over fist while the small businesses are suffering, right? But many mom and pop businesses also make their living by running their shops online, selling accessories, ammunition, other things online, and their various websites. All of that would have the brakes put on it, and it would cost thousands upon thousands of American jobs, thousands upon hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax revenue. Okay, it would have a very, very negative impact on our citizens' ability to exercise their constitutional rights. So even beyond just the economic impact, the social impact of such an idea would be terrible. People would be severely disenfranchised from the ability to procure the items they need to defend their communities, their homes, their families. Not only that, but just the simple aspect of going out and shooting with your grandkids, or going out and going pheasant hunting or deer hunting or duck hunting. It doesn't matter what activity with a firearm that you undertake. It will be severely hampered if we don't win these Senate seats in Georgia. You have to get involved, guys. This is super important. This is grassroots. This is right here in my backyard, okay? I mean, I'm the Georgia guy, right? I'm the Georgia YouTuber. I'm the gun YouTuber that's in Georgia. So I feel personally responsible, like I'm carrying this around on my shoulders, or that it's a dark cloud hanging above my head.
What does it always have to happen in Georgia?
I need you guys more than ever to get involved with this. It's really, really important. And you're going to see more posts coming from us, okay? This is not the first video on the Georgia Senate race. I'm going to have some special guests on my channel, and we're going to be posting updates as we go. And I know it pains you guys to watch political videos, but it's really important that we not sit on the sidelines. You need to push other channels to produce videos as well to get the word out. We've got to get people talking about the Senate race in Georgia. It's super, super, super important. We're going to be covering this as best we can, and I'm going to be going to different cities to these rallies and things. I'm going to be posting more information as we go about the rally updates, where the rallies are going to be, who's going to be there, who's going to be speaking. But we got some great names behind it, some really good folks, both locally and nationally, that are flying in to help us with the Georgia Senate battle. And I guess that's really all I wanted to say in that regard. I can see Chad over here twitching like he's got more info to put out. But it's really important, guys, that we get y'all involved. I need everybody. We're like a little army here. And I need everyone to get involved and get in the trenches on this.
So, just so you guys know, all right, right now, as the election is kind of coming to a close and everything, there are 50 seats held by Republicans, okay, and 48 seats held by Democrats, with the 2 Senate seats in Georgia that are going to runoff. Now, if Loeffler and Perdue lose, okay, that'll be a tie. Now, the tiebreaker in the Senate is the vice president. So if that be, Kamala Harris, then she would break the ties in the Senate on certain issues, like if they do want to pack the courts, okay, if they want to vote to add more justices, and then Joe Biden can appoint these justices, and then the Senate can vote on them, okay? If the Senate confirms a justice and there's a straight party line vote, then Kamala Harris is going to be the tiebreaker, and those justices will be confirmed, and the court will be packed. They will expand the court to where this conservative majority that is historically prevalent will be a moot point, okay? And the Supreme Court is kind of the end-all, do-all, and that's the reason the Senate is so vital to just freedom in general, okay? Because we don't want to see a leftist agenda and socialist agenda come and ravage our country. We don't want to see that. But there are people in the legislature that would love for that to happen. They'd love for the people just to be peons, okay? And they retain all this power, and we just get plunged into a socialist, a socialist vein, just like Venezuela is in right now. We say it in multiple videos in the past, or we've said it in multiple videos in the past, and it still holds true today. Socialism does not work. It fails at every time it's tried, okay? But if we do, if Republicans do come out on top with this runoff, and I should, really get this point out there, conservatives do not need to rest on their laurels and just say, oh, well, look back at all the other runoffs. The Republicans, they always win. I ain't worried about it. This is a race. Get
out and vote.
This is a race that you need to worry about. If you voted in the general election, you need to make it a point to go out and vote. And a lot of people with the early voting that's open over 2 weeks ahead of time, it makes life a lot easier for people with tight schedules, okay? Get out and vote early if you need to. But this is a very, very important race here in Georgia, and it just sucks that Georgia has become such a battleground. I mean, there's times where Georgia was more of a blue state, of course, but Georgia's always held very conservative beliefs in the vast majority of the state as a whole. I mean, we're more of a rural area. You do have big municipalities and such, and there's a lot of culture here on both sides of the aisle. I just wish that people could kind of come to the middle and be a little bit more moderate on things. I mean, we're not going to see that anytime soon, I don't think, because there's just such divisiveness now in the country. I mean, both sides, in a lot of cases, they just go head to head, and I mean, what can you do if you can't have a conversation anymore, folks? It's just insane.
I agree, and I would like to add a few things too. So what we would essentially accomplish here is, if we get these 2 extra Senate seats, we can hopefully assume that if everyone in the Senate votes along party lines, that any attempts at formal federal gun control in terms of trying to push it through will be stopped right there, dead cold on the Senate floor, that they won't be able to pack the courts. That's extremely important. That's probably even more important, right? Because if they can pack the Supreme Court, and then if they do decide to hear, or they can just say, oh, well, we're not going to hear 2A cases at all. That's their answer to that. What we'll essentially end up having, at worst, is going to be another Obama administration. So a Biden and Harris administration with a decent Senate, and of course now we have way more House seats, so that could swing any more. Nancy Pelosi is absolutely livid at the amount of House seats that have been lost. So there's been a red wave in the House. Now, not enough to take over the House, but definitely, we've won several seats in the House. So we can at least have things normal as they are. Now, there'll be lots of saber rattling and lots of talks of gun control. And of course, there'll be any number of executive orders passed that, of course, will have to pass constitutional purview eventually through the Supreme Court. But who knows when the Supreme Court will hear it or if they will. Now, what we can hope is that if the Supreme Court doesn't get packed and that we keep our conservative majority in the Supreme Court that we have now, they have expressed interest in hearing more 2A cases, okay? And if that's the case, okay, things like the bump stock ban, red flag laws, all of these terrible things that have been passed down. Now, we know that Trump is the reason we have the bump stock ban, okay? And Trump set forth a very scary and distinctive precedence by signing an executive order banning bump stocks. He's basically opened up Pandora's box for any president to come in and go, you know what, I don't like this accessory. Dare I say, you know what, I don't like 30-round magazines. I don't like this gun. I don't like this. I don't like that. Oh, and by the way, hey, ATF, we want you to just change your minds on this. That's a whole nother bag of apples regarding the brace situation. We're going to do a future gun gripe on that. But it opens up a very scary situation where an extremely anti-gun administration can come in later and go, you know what, we don't like that. We're just going to sign an executive order and, you know what, sort it out in court if it ever even makes it to the Supreme Court. So they know these Senate seats, this runoff, is one of the most important runoffs in recent memory because if they can pack the House, they can pack the Supreme Court. And then it doesn't matter if the House is able to get any gun bills up to the Senate, or if the president will sign a gun bill, or if the Senate will vote yay or nay on a gun bill. It's irrelevant because they can just executive order everything, let all the you-know-what run downhill, and then their packed Supreme Court will just go, all right, yeah, we'll hear this case. Oh, well, guess what? They are within their rights to take AR-15s just simply for whatever reason because they'll have a liberal-controlled Supreme Court that, of course, is going to vote whatever way they want them to.
It would definitely take some time.
That's the difficulty.
Yeah, it'd take some time for it, but you do have representatives that do cross party lines occasionally. One article I read was about Joe Manchin. If Democrats win Senate, I won't support crazy stuff like court packing. So does that mean that he won't support crazy stuff like an assault weapons ban as well, and he will go against party lines? Perhaps. There will likely be some Rhinos that will cross party lines on some issues. So that's where the 50-50 split, is very detrimental to things because some of the more normalized partisan legislation that's going to come down is going to be voted on party lines, and then Kamala will be the tiebreaker. She indeed does take the vice presidency. But it's just a crazy state of affairs, what we're dealing with right now. And Eric was mentioning executive orders and such. Okay, so if the president issues an executive order on firearms ownership, or whatever the case is, or maybe he directs the ATF, just like Trump did, to look at braces in the same light that they looked at bump stocks, and see the ATF is just going to be allowed to run the gamut and exercise their bureaucratic stronghold there and just say, hey, we're just going to pin this letter and braces are no more, or we can't import your favorite pistols anymore,
or ammo
or whatever the case is, just like they tried to do with M855 and SS109 projectiles,
and like they did do with 7 and 6.
Can't
import 7 and 6 ammo anymore.
So like all these, the battle in the past several years has really come down to fighting things on a state level and fighting them in the courts. That's where organizations like Firearms Policy Coalition, they are a team of attorneys that litigate cases all over the country in support of gun owners. And right now they're fighting against the California handgun roster, among other things, in New York, fighting against the SAFE Act all the time, and just wherever there's unconstitutional gun laws, they are there. Just the same as like GOA and other grassroots organizations like that. But that's really where the battles are fought nowadays, is really in the courts, because we saw back in the early days of the Trump administration, when we did have control of the ship, Okay, quote unquote. We had conservatives in all branches of government. We got nothing done. I mean,
Extremely disappointing.
Absolutely nothing.
You better believe, if it's one credit you do have to give to the Democrats, is when they get control, they wield it like a child with a toy. They do. Yeah, when they get the control, they wield it, and I'm very disappointed in the Rhinos and the weak-kneed Republicans that didn't give us the things that they promised us. And I know. So it's very important, guys. We have to get involved on this Senate runoff race. I need everybody to contact all the reps. I need everybody to get with all their friends in Georgia and make sure they understand what's at stake here. I have reached out to David Perdue's office. No one has returned my phone calls or emails yet. I have reached out to Kelly Loeffner. Of course, nobody has responded back to me yet. I've reached out to Georgia Carey. Nobody has responded back to me yet. It's like no one gives a crap. I need them to give a crap, okay? I've reached out to as many people as I can. I've reached out to Drew Ferguson, which is my local rep here. No word back, okay? I need these people to get off their butts, okay, and contact us back. I'm willing to have them on my channel for interviews. We can talk about whatever. You're going to see more videos popping up on the channel. And look, as a side note, I do promise, guys, we have many more gun videos on the way. Don't think that we're going to bombard you with only political stuff. We have tons of fun things on the way that you're going to enjoy thoroughly, okay? I know we're responsible for your entertainment as well. So yes, we want to educate and entertain, but we want our mental weapons to be sharp and ready, just like we want our physical weapons to be sharp and ready and good to go. So we have to make sure that we're towing that line, right? I need you guys to get involved in Georgia because there's a lot at stake for the whole nation. This is not just Georgia. This is all of us. This could change the path for gun ownership negatively for a long, 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 long time. And a means by which we never may be able to recover if we don't win this Senate runoff. It's very important, guys. Please get involved. You're going to see more videos popping up. I appreciate your time. If you love what we do and you want to support us, I would really appreciate the support right now. We need as much support as we can get. We've got a great Microtech pre-sale going on right now. If you guys are looking at a custom Microtech, we've got a custom color we're doing that's never been done before. We're going to have them in time for Christmas delivery. Go over there and pick yourself up a snazzy Microtech. Maybe go pick yourself up a t-shirt over on Ballistic Ink. Consider donating some bucks on Patreon. There's a lot of ways that you can support us. We sell a product called man cans. We're having those out in time for Christmas delivery. Make sure you go pick yourself up a man can. All of those funds that we earn go right back into doing what we do, producing this content. Guys, trust me, we're on some thin margins right now, okay? Like, we're the YouTube purse for us is looking a little, it's got moss flying out of it when we open it, all right? We need all the help that we can get.
Because it all went to 9mm.
Yeah, we had to pay $1 a round for 9mm. So guys, if you love what we do and you wish to support us, those are the most direct ways you can do so. Stay tuned for more videos. We're going to have more updates on the Georgia Senate runoff and lots of other great things. And don't worry, lots of other great YouTube videos on the way as well. So thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you for listening to me. Get involved, Georgia. We need everybody in the trenches right now. I need every soldier in the trenches I can get. So get out there, all right? You're going to see more. We're going to make it happen. Thanks. See you guys next time.
Take care, guys.